start, right? So let me start with the diamond submission. So this is what we have got here, diamond submission. So the silver, likewise we do have, then Taranga has got 47 minutes left. And Aranchi has got 18 minutes left. I don't look bad. It has to follow. One hour late. Pereira 1 day and 2 hours late. Pereira has taken substantially longer time. Pereira, it's just a common 1 day 16 hours late. It's something else. Yeah, it is the exact. Okay. But not the phone. You the 1 hour and 16 hours late for 4 to but I got it. Others that submitted on time. Then Fauzan 5 hours late. And Fonseca 4 hours and 47 minutes. HKJC Finance, that person there. I think that person is 1 day and 10 hours. Then Ilham 1 day and 9 hours late. And so this person is going to get the what? The 2 hours, 2 days and 9 hours. Is it present here? Is it not? So because if you are late, you are getting lesser marks. Right? Late submissions carry lesser marks. So therefore, be mindful about that. Right. So that's about the submissions, and thank you all for submitting. Late submissions will carry low marks. Right. So today we shall come to chapter number 4. So, but on the other hand, if I just give some insights on the informal case, right, which you all had attended. Informal case. What was the main issue there? There are several issues in the. What are the main issues in the informal? What went wrong in it? Critical legal first. The thing is that the person, EU, did not understand what? Finance. That person was not a number guy. So that had an impact all over the business. And then the discounting practice was out of order. Likewise, there are several issues in court. Right. If you were the accountant, you should have prepared the financial statement in a specific format. What kind of format could you suggest for accounting? Please for the management accounting. Are you doing accounting? It is not this subject. This subject is what? Digital business strategy. But in your accounting, you should have understood that you can prepare the final accounts or the financial statements in two forms. I tell one, What is absorption costing format? What's the other the way that you can prepare? What is absorption costing? What's the other? What's the other format? Activity. Marginal. Marginal costing. Now here, how they have prepared the finance? Based on what way? How they have prepared? They are prepared based on the normal way. That's what absorption costing. What's wrong with absorption costing? There are some hidden things cannot be seen. So in marginal costing, how do you prepare the finance? Marginal costing, how do you prepare the finance? How do they prepare? You take the revenue and you deduct what? You deduct what? You deduct what? Variable cost. Then you get calculate what? You can calculate what? Contribution. Then afterwards we will be deducting the fixed cost. And then profit can be calculated. Now here it was told in one place that Ecomom was selling products below cost. The price was below cost. That means what? Their costing was not correct. They thought that they were making profits, but in fact they were making what? Losses per product, per se. Per product per se. Here's why. The selling price is below what? Variable. Why could not they detect that? In price, variable cost. Remember what? You have a negative contribution margin. You are not even making a contribution. Let alone covering the fixed cost. Why couldn't they detect this? Because they are wrong form. Because of their wrong form. They have done an absorption costing without performing a marginal costing form, without using a marginal costing form. That was a major error. Another thing is the CEO did not understand. The CEO did not understand numbers. He did not understand. So, and what was wrong with discounting there? Discounting, there was some issues as well. What was wrong in the discount? Discounting will order. Discount. What was wrong in discount? They had given 50% of more discounts. And the problem was they were giving these discounts to repeated customers. Although one customer should get a discount once. That was their policy, but there was no mechanism to track. So for repeated sales that they had done to the same customer, they were giving discounts. But the issue was, how was sales team compensated? How was the sales team compensated? After the discount value or before the discount value? The sales team was given a commission. Before the discount value or after the discount? Before or after? Before the discount. Is it correct? They should have been given after the discount. The sales commission. So that was another. Likewise, there were several issues in this particular business. And for some time, there was no particular financial guide. And when he failed, it was too late. And also, can we just blame only the CEO? Now, there was a CFO who came at this date. And he says that he tried to explain the things, the numbers, to the CEO. But he says he failed. He says he failed. So who's really wrong? The CEO or the CEO? If you cannot explain things properly, it's easy to point a dead man, that person, other person committed suicide, and this man is living and giving now voice cuts. There is that guy did not understand numbers, and that's why this company failed. That's an easy thing to do, isn't it? But this person was unable to communicate. If the CFO cannot understand numbers, what she should have done, what the CFO should have done, the financial guy should do what? Like director numbers there in Netta. If the person cannot understand numbers, then what the other person should do? Again, take numbers and show that person. No, show it in pictures, show it in diagrams, explain as a story. And see, it's easy to blame people, but that's what a lot of accountants say in organizations. That's what people don't want to look at accountants in organizations. Why? They are unable to communicate their ideas. In a boardroom, if you work for financials, no one would understand. But rather, what we have shown you. Right? You have to show bar charts. You have to show line charts. How profit is going up, how profit is going down, how the demand is increasing or decreasing, growth is increasing, decreasing, by diagrams, bar charts, pie charts, and those kind of things. That will go into their minds. That will go into their minds. Easy. That will go into their minds. So therefore, I can see there's a communication failure from the CFO aspect. Can see it. So we can blame people for not understanding numbers, but on the other hand, we have to blame ourselves for not being able to communicate clearly. Put across your idea. So I think all these things went wrong here at the course. On top of that, I see a strategic failure as well. What's the strategic failure that Common suffered? Strategic failure. What should have been their strategy? Common strategy should have been what? I'm asking, what should have been a common strategy? Michael Porter comes up with good growth rate strategy. What are the good growth rate strategies Michael Porter explained? I have told this earlier and again I'm reminding. Michael Porter, who's that? My uncle. No, he's not bad. I don't wish him to be my uncle. Michael Porter, Harvard professor, he explained that there are two kinds of strategies that the business could adopt. What are the two kinds of strategies? One is cost leadership, good. The other one is what? Difference. Also, he told that these two strategies could be used, right, for a broad market or a niche market. Cost leader can explain the Amasta market. Eco niche. What do you mean niche? What's a niche market? Segment, not the total. So you can be a cost leader to a niche or to the total market. Likewise, you can be a differentiator for a niche or for the total market. So what's your suggestion for ECO? First, let's decide whether it's going to be a niche or the total market. What's your suggestion? Niche or the total market that ECO should have concentrated? What's that? Those who say total market, please raise your hand. Right. Those who say it should be a niche, please raise your hands. Those who have hands, please raise your hand. Over one that cow, those Sunday money. Hand there, okay. Those who have brain. Right? My perception is, my belief is that they should have concentrate on a niche rather than the problem. Why? Because they should have followed what, not a cost leadership style. Doesn't work. Particularly not like this, it's perfect. Right? What I believe is that they should have gone for a differentiation strategy, not cost leadership. They cannot compete with large scale where economies of scale. They should have done what? They should have chosen a niche and sold them at a higher price. A differentiated, well differentiated product with their brand name. So they could have earned good money, serving their niche and charging a higher price for environmental strength, eco. So that's my take, but of course you can argue in your own way. But at least they should have thought about that. But they were selling others, those brands, and they could not differentiate their own product. And they even gave at very high discounts, making a loss by not even recovering the variable cost. So what were these? All these contributed what? All these contributed what? Okay. So finally, a competitor happily bought this company. That's what happened. So that's what you should have a strategy. Unless you have a strategy, you won't be able to. That applies to what? Your life as well. So you have to always see within your strategy in your life. You have to always see within your vision, a mission, and a strategy. How do you have a vision? Your companies are having visions, but of course, I think it's high time that you develop your own vision. Don't worry, you can edit it after you create it. So if you're interested, go to Google and see personal vision statement. How to write a personal vision statement. How to write a personal vision statement. That's going to be very important. But even before that, we have to do small exercise, which is sometimes going to be a little bit scary. But I suggest doing that. First, do a personal SWOT analysis. What's a personal SWOT analysis? See what are your strengths. Then see what are your weaknesses. See what are your opportunities. And see what are your threats. The SWOT. Then first understand that. Then try to develop a vision for you. Right? Now, if your mission is to be a nuclear scientist, I don't think it's going to be working unless you are really towards that. Then you shouldn't be here. In fact, you should go to a place or country where there's nuclear science there. So, like you should have a vision or a mission, and a mission that's aligned with your strengths and your opportunity. Right? So those are things that you're going to get. So, Ecomom failed because they did not have proper strategy and proper people. Proper strategy and proper people, proper resources are required. Put that strategy in place and then execute that so you can achieve your objective. So yes, thank you. I got several good ideas and really appreciate it for your efforts. But some people were late by 2 days and even more hours. So marks will have to be reduced. What to do? Be fair with that. Okay, today let's come to section number 4 or chapter number 4. So already I explained to you now in chapter number 4, we are going to look at the environmental aspects, particularly the pestle factors. Now I divided markers, the kind of factors that impacts the environment, that impacts an environment into two. What are those two environments that I discussed? One is what? Micro environment and the macro environment. Very microenvironment. What are the elements of a microenvironment? What are the elements of a microenvironment? Look at the answer is there. Microenvironment, what are the factors that are there? Microenvironment. Microenvironment. There is the customer, suppliers, intermediaries like dealers, right? And even competitors would comprise what? The microenvironment. So the microenvironment elements are there. Then we have the macro environment. What are the macro environment factors? The so-called fiscal factors. Political, legal, economic, social, technological factors. So we are going to discuss certain factors today, particularly that relates to the macro environment. Right? Particularly that relates to the macro environment. Right. We discussed certain legal factors, legal things, as well as social factors that's impacting or that could impact a digital. Right. With that, I would like to come into cookies. Did we discuss about cookies? No. So we discussed about cookies just after a break. We can discuss about cookies. Is it? Cookies are what? These are things that you can eat, isn't it? Now I want you to look at, right, by on the internet and tell me what's a cookie when it comes to a computer, right? What's a cookie when it comes to a website and a computer? Look at it and tell what's a cookie? And why companies use cookies? And what are the legal implications of cookies? Are there any legal implications for cookies? Just what are cookies? You can check the internet, of course, and then I randomly pick some students and ask, stand up and tell me what's a cookie? What are cookies? Please you cover it. What's a cookie? A cookie. A cookie. Someone send a message or I can see. Send an online message. Cookie. What's a cookie? A cookie is what simply what's that? A text file. A cookie is simply a text file. Right? A cookie is a text file, a data file or a text file. You can see a data file. placed on your computer that's downloaded from a website. When you visit a certain website, it will download a certain text file into your computer. Why the website does that? Any website cannot text file your computer download. Why does it do that? Why text file is downloaded? To track you. They could track you. It could track your behavior. It would know when you visited, from which region you visited, when you visited, what pages you visited. Likewise, it will track you. And then they know your behavior, and based on that, they can target marketing campaigns and others. Right. Now, can just a website download any file into your computer first of all? And you can't. And can someone track you on your online behavior? Would you like some website tracking your behavior, online behavior? Would you like that? No. That's for privacy. We have privacy for privacy. We don't want a website to track us and download files into our computer without our knowledge. So if a company or if a website is going to do that, it's illegal. It's illegal to download any files into your computer as well as track your behavior. Maybe that's illegal. So that's why they have to take permission if you are going to do it. So that's why when you visit certain websites, it asks what? Whether you accept their cookie policy. But it asks you whether you accept their cookie policy. If you say yes, then what it does? What it does? It will download a text file and it will track your behavior. Right. So you give them the permission to do. If you don't give the permission, what will happen? They won't allow sometimes to enter into their website and get the information what you require. How to avoid cookies thing? How to avoid that some other website trying to track you? How can you avoid that? There are different ways to do that. One way is to go into incognito mode. Or some people call it private browsing. So going to now if you go to this particular here, you can go here and you can see new incognito window in Chrome. And then it will say Chrome won't save following information. Your browser history, cookies and site data. No cookies will be saved. Right. Information entered in forms, those are not going to be there. Website you visit, your employers. Suppose your employer, the school could visit, they could see where you had gone, that's a different story. But these things were things. So that's where the cookie policy is really important to be understood. So cookies are downloaded, but the legal implication is there's a legal implication. If they don't take permission from you, they are violating the law. Right? The pestle factors, L stands for what? And the pestle factors, L is what? Legal environment. So the legal environment is very, very particular about that. So that's why when you enter certain website, they will ask whether you agree with their cookie policy. Then only they will allow you to. When you tell okay, then they will download a small text file and type. If you want to really avoid that, you can use the incognito mode or private browsing as some other web browsers call. Okay, so that's about cookies that we have done there. Now, this is an example of a cookie from British Airways. Right here, an example. Cookies are stored as individual text files in a directory on a personal computer, which is downloaded from the website. And these text file where it identifies from this person has gone to British Airways website, and so it has downloaded this text file to track it. Right. So these are the pestle factors. Now let's see the social. A social factor is social trends. In social trends, there is something called pop culture. What's pop culture? Pop culture. So is that His Excellency Pope is in Vatican? Is that his culture? Pop culture is not Pope culture. Pop culture. No. Pop culture stands for popular culture. Popular culture. You can take the pop culture. This popular culture. The shortened form is popular culture. That are these trends, fashions that come and go very soon in our society. Right? You can see the fashions, particularly in ladies' dresses. What they dress, so in fact, sometimes undress. So you can see how the fashions change in Srilanka. So how fashions are created? And more fashion differ how they do that in Srilanka. Fashion goes down, fashion goes up, right? So what they do? Teledramas. In teledramas, they use these actresses, so-called actresses, to popularize different what costumes or dresses, right? And you can see what has happened, right? They would dress in a certain way, and it will be the fashion, and people will be, the female population will be adopting that very soon, and that becomes a fashion. So see how things happen, right? And they will use different kind of teledrama actresses as well as particular teledrama. Who are some popular teledrama actresses? No, let's not speak about it. So you have different kind of such kind of people, and these trends or these fashions change very quick. Yeah, the theory here. Pathing pass එක. මම දැකලා තියෙනවා මේ ගානට ඇඳගෙන ඉන්න කරපොත්. ඒක. සමහරවිට මේ ගානට ඇඳගෙන. හරියට. අනිත් network දෙකෙන් දැන් So likewise there are different fashions. So here that's right. You can see how quickly it changes. But on the other hand, compared to the social trends, change slowly. But look at the natural environment. Does it change like this very rapidly? Yes, sir. And let's say, for an example, infrastructure, road, railways. The Hamasati railway open sure. So it's quite slowly. So likewise, we have to understand, particularly with industry, that your digital business is. If your digital business is in or related with this popular culture, like if you are dealing with fashion, if you are dealing with garments, if you are dealing with dresses and things like that, even food, then it might change very rapidly, right? So therefore, this is how the waves of change take place. Popular culture, natural environment, social, technology. Yes, it's changing quite quickly as compared to the natural environment. So we have to take this in. Now let's see what do we mean by viral marketing. That also is a way that sometimes some clever marketers use the social trends and this pop culture to popularize certain products and services. Right. What's viral marketing? Virus market karna. Virus. I mean, COVID-19 is also virus. Is it something with that viral marketing? No. Let's listen from a guru in this field. Viral marketing. So let's watch a YouTube video on what's viral marketing. And please take down notes when he tells what's viral marketing and what's not viral marketing. And also you'll be surprised to hear that who first implemented viral marketing. How this is viral marketing introduced current method. What come? Any guesses? Viral marketing is a marketing campaign that spreads very rapidly. A virus spreads very rapidly. Now I could remember in 2019, around October, we heard in China, in Wuhan, somewhere, that COVID-19 that they said. Even at that time, COVID-19 was a term that we had never heard. But within 3 or 4 months, what happened? The total world was engulfed by this particular one. Srilanka was not spared. We know what happened. So virus spreads very fast. In viral marketing, what happens is a message, a marketing message, a picture, a video spreads very fast. And the best thing is that particular campaign has its own life. So usually in a marketing campaign, the company needs to market certain. Right? You have to market. If you are the company now, if SAP wants to market, SAP has to market it. Put that into Facebook or put that into newspapers, television, or whatever. But in viral marketing, it will have its own life. How? Because users will be sharing it by themselves. The marketer will not require to lift a finger for the marketing. The users will be sharing the marketing, right? The marketing message, the users will be sharing. So that's the beauty of viral marketing. And you might think viral marketing is due to pure luck. Is it? It's some cleverly designed marketing campaign to make it. Now he will tell two things. If a message to be viral, he tells that there should be two things, together or separate. If you are to share something, he says it should have social capital. You'll understand what social capital. And top of that, you'll be surprised to hear who first used viral marketing. You guess what's that company? Of course, not a Sri Lankan company. Who is that? It's Microsoft. Our good old Bill Gates company use that, and you will see under which product, not for Windows, but for their Hotmail. You will see how they use viral marketing, and you'll be surprised how they use that. So now let's watch the video and see what's viral marketing. So please take down notes when things are interesting and some important information is stored. Not just be a person to watch the videos, but just see and take down notes as well. What viral marketing? What are the features of viral marketing? And what needs to be there in a viral marketing campaign? Okay. Then afterwards, I will teach you what's malware marketing as well as spyware. Then adware marketing. What else? We'll discuss after. First of all, we'll see what's viral marketing. It's not virus marketing, it's viral marketing. When something viral is going to be what? It goes very rapidly among the users and among the masses. That's viral. So let's see this gentleman explaining viral marketing. Follow viral marketing क्या होगा? So you don't need to lift a thing. That So that's viral marketing. What about self-replication? I hope you took down notes. What self-replication? Replication. Already we discussed that on the research methodology as well. What's replication? Where did we discuss replication? In research methodology also I discussed about replication. Yeah. Three characteristics or three features that you are looking at in a good or bad replication. Here is not about that. Here self-replication means the marketing campaign should replicate, should have a life of its own. The marketer need not lift a finger to promote the message. So users will be replicating. They will be sending money and sharing it with their friends. So he told about another important concept, which is called social commerce. Or social commerce. Or social commerce. Why do people share things? He told two reasons. One, yes, to show that something is smart or you are smart. And then the other one is what? And. Can be both or it can be either one. What's that? Fun. So you will share, right, a message that will make you or look smart, make you smart, as well as it's a fun message. So those are the keys. So can we call viral marketing campaign is due to your luck? A cleverly casted video or cleverly casted photograph with able to see what went viral and what you share. Now you get a lot of WhatsApp messages, right? Those are all sometimes marketing messages. Those are all marketing messages. Viral marketing. Give me a moment. Okay. Something called that I can tell. Right, so that's about viral marketing. Now let's look at what is malware marketing, adware marketing. What do you mean by that? Malware, adware, fine. Right. So any questions related to viral marketing? Did you understand what's that? Right. Don't think it's due to luck. See what are the pictures or what are the photographs or videos that you are sharing. It's some well-crafted marketing message. Some people are marketing themselves without your knowledge. Some messages are passed by you and they are marketing themselves. But that's fine if the message is good. Isn't it? Some people have very good messages, and of course, they are marketing. That's what we call personal branding and personal marketing as well. So we are helping them to market themselves. That's fine. Their messages, good, and it's something that we can learn, right? We can learn things from this. Why not? Right. Now, so viral marketing usually is a good thing, right? But some bad products also could be going viral. Some photographs also could go viral, some videos as well. But now let's see something really not good. And how some marketers could use this malware market, adware market, as well as spyware market. What are these? I think you were some victims for them as well. We'll see. And we'll understand what's ransomware and those kind of things. Because these are also used by some companies to market themselves. Particularly adware market. What is adware market? Adware market. Right. So let's see this video. So please take down notes. I saw some students were taking down notes. Some students were just watching some movie. We'll see what you mean by malware, adware, and spyware market. Yeah, that's very fast, no? Compare with 720 or okay, now let's see. Carefully listen to malware, spyware, and adware. What are these? And how marketers could use this for their own purpose. Right? Listen carefully. And take them.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
So he explained malware, spyware, and adware. What's malware again? The short form for what? Malicious software. Malicious software means what? The person who created that software has created that for good purpose or bad purpose. Right? For malicious intent. Right? So then he was explaining about spyware. What's spyware? That's the and what happens is you download a file and then that particular file will have a code, a hidden code or hidden program that will spy your computer. And what it will do is afterwards, it will send all your sensitive information to a hacker or a cracker or a fraud. All your credit card information, all your passwords of your Gmail, emails, Facebook, everything is missing. So that's why you should never download any file, program, picture from an unknown source. Even from known sources, you have to be extremely careful. That's called malware. Spyware is spies. And it will send there's the keylogging software aspect. Keyloggers will log your keys that you type and send everything to a hacker. That's called keylogger. Keylogging software is also there. So you have to be extremely careful, and that's why you should have a powerful virus guard. So if you don't have a virus guard, that means you are exposed to all these malware. Viruses as well as malware. Right? Malicious software. Then what's adware? What's adware? It's basically pop-ups. Sometimes your browser, without even your knowledge, will be popping up messages, particularly advertising. That's why it's connected with this advertising software. Right? Adware. They are popping up messages without even your knowledge. Is it? That's adware. Advertising. Yeah. Pop-ups. So I could remember those days there were some programs to clean your computer, right? And of course, these days we have virus guards. Not only will deal with viruses, it will also deal with what? These kind of adware and spyware. And there's another these days that's going on, which is called ransomware. Please check and let me know what's ransomware. Ransomware. What's ransomware? That's not good at all. Ransomware is something a very, very nasty thing to encounter. What's ransom? Ransom. Ransomware. What's ransomware? What's the ransom? Then where? Right? Right? What's ransom? We'll ask comes to the same. What's the ransom? Encrypts. Encrypts. Yeah. This is the ransom. Very good. So she explained what's the ransom. Cryptography is important. Encryption is important. What could the answer be? Oh, yes. Yeah. Good, good, very good. What's the very good. Right. So I got the answer. Very good. So all the tell the correct answer. Actually, ransomware it's like this. It works like this. Someone gets access to your computer and encrypts your files. So what do we mean encryption? Locking. Now say for example, you have 1,000 files. So what it will do is, it will take those 1,000 files and put that to what? A zip file. A zip file password protected. We put that all the files into a password protected zip file. That's what exports encryption. And delete all the original ones. Yeah, you cannot access them. Then what you have to do? Now you want your files. Maybe your personal files were there, office files were there, your photographs were there, everything is there. Now you have not got access. What you have to do? Now to get access, you need to unzip that. To unzip that, you need the password. Because it's encrypted. We call that encryption. Password protecting here is encryption. Then to decrypt, you need the password, the decryption key. Now where's that key? Yes, with the hacker. Now to get that, what you have to do? You have to pay him. Sometimes you have to pay $1,000. So you have to transfer $1,000. Then that person will be giving the key issue of fortune. If not, he will ask or she will ask what? Another 500. So that's how it works. Sometimes that person will never give that test. Can you believe hackers? No. You cannot believe terrorists. You cannot believe hackers. They don't have. But some hackers, some thieves, some terrorists have a code of ethics. At least they have a code of ethics that they hold. But some people, some hackers, crackers, they don't have ethics. They will try to take that out of you, meaning they will drain. That's why when you are going to download something, be extremely careful. So this happened in an American hospital. In an American hospital, it happened. So their firewall was not protecting their system. It was, weak, and some hackers gained access and installed the ransomware and encrypted all the information. Now it's a hospital. In hospital, what you have? Patient data, and some critical patients were there. Now, without their hospital records, can you treat the patients? You can't. So they had to pay thousands of dollars to get access back to their system. So how can you prevent this? How can you prevent ransomware? By a powerful virus guard. Therefore, if you think investing in a virus guard is waste or it's expensive, don't think so. It will protect your important data. It will protect sometimes 1,000 hours of work. Let's say you have created an audit report or whatever, audit work is everything encrypted. Then you have to do it again. Your assignments, your everything will be gone within seconds. And you have to pay a huge amount of money to get it back. Sometimes you will never get it back as well. So the best thing is what? Have a good virus guard, number one. Then have a good firewall. Update your virus guard as well as have a good firewall. Windows firewall is much better, a good thing, but sometimes you might need to go even for a better firewall if you are going to do a digital business. And I was using different kinds of virus guards these days, and I just looked at the internet and did some small research, and I understood Kaspersky quite good. And for 2 years, I had to pay only 6,000 rupees to get a license version. Right. So I think it's a decent amount to get my data protected. So it's doing a decent and a good service. And even it protects my browser as well. And even if I want to go to certain websites like to download some software, it won't allow me to do that. So it's protecting me from myself as well. But of course, I can circumvent it. But no, always I will listen to that because if a ransomware comes, that's it. We come to this code. So unless you know what you are really doing, don't go to certain websites. Don't go and download the different software and try to install it. It might be what? It might show that it's trying to do some, but it might. I think you have heard about Trojan horses. What are Trojan horses? Trojan horses. You know the story. Trojan, what's the story? Now, once, right, the Trojan horses, the story comes like this. Once there was a city that was the certain enemy forces wanted to invade this city, but it was impenetrable. So the enemy army could not enter this because there was a huge fortress and it was protected. And when the enemy army came closer, they were pouring what? Hot tar and putting on them fire. So people could not come. So it was the firewall was there. So they could not come. So what did the enemy army do? They did a strategic withdrawal. Yes, they did a large wooden house outside, of course, outside their fortress. Now they are unable to enter the fortress. So they built outside a large wooden house. And then they put some soldiers inside that house. This is a large one. Now soldiers are inside. And they did. So the people in that fortress, that city, that inside the city, they thought what? The army left, the enemy army left. Now it's okay. And what they did was, then they looked at what's left. Then they saw this large horse. Right? They saw this large horse. And as a war trophy, they brought that horse inside to their city and closed the door. They closed the door. And they were very happy and they were celebrating and they slept that night peacefully. What happened? The soldiers, the enemy soldiers who were inside the horse came out and they did what? They opened the door of the fort. It was closed and they opened it. So the enemy army, without any resistance, came on and they what? They took control of the city. That's the story of Trojan horse. How does it apply to a computer system? This is how it applies to computer. Trojan horse is also kind of virus. So what you do is you download what? A picture. nice picture or a video. And when you click on that, you think the video is displayed. Yes, in fact, it will display, but behind that video, it's embedded device. Like the horse, the wooden horse, you would see only the wooden horse, but inside the wooden horse, there was what? Enemies. Enemy soldiers. Likewise, this particular picture or the video might display the video, display the picture, that's correct, but there might be a virus behind it. So that's why we say what? Don't download any information that comes from an unknown source. Don't click on links that come from unknown sources. Even from known sources, be extremely careful. So those kind of Trojan horse attacks might be there as well. Trojan horse attacks. Therefore, have a decent virus guard installed in your system. Digital businesses should have protected system. Understood? Okay, it's not your data, your information, your customer data, everything will be gone. Your credit card information will be gone. It will be wiped out by the morning. So extremely be careful. Okay. Right. Are you taking a small break here? Almost 7:50. So we'll take a 15 minutes break and come back by 6. Please come back by 5. Let's say 5:10. 5:10. Please come back by 5:10. 5:10 PM. Okay. Please continue on. Let's say a quick break and come.
$985. 985.
Okay.
Really? 1 second. Okay. Now what you want? OTP. Okay, 985 and expiry date 2028 May. May. CVV 985. Let me check.
Okay, always this side becomes later. Then you might need to do some more research first. Okay, since we have a limited time, we get to know some wait another about 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, we shall continue now. Maybe others are in town. Right. We shall continue our discussion. So now let's see what are the customers that were telling that what were the issues that they had faced when buying online. I think you also had purchased things online, and I asked you, what are your issues that you have faced? Now you might have purchased from Dallas, you might have purchased from IKMA or some other website, maybe AliExpress. What were the issues that you were encountering? And then let's see what are the issues that these people have encountered sometimes back. So when you purchased online, did you encounter any? We'll see what are the issues first of all, isn't it? And then see what kind of issues that you encountered. And I say what I encountered as well. So almost 58% say that they did not encounter any problem. Right? They say that they did not encounter any problem. That's good. So majority has not encountered any problem. But then out of that, then there are about how much? There about 17%. They had the issue flower delivered. You had ordered and they might have promised that it will be delivered within 2 days, but it would have taken 1 week. Flower delivered item. The technical failure of website during ordering or payment. When you are trying to make the payment, the website doesn't work. It takes you to the payment gateway, but it doesn't work. So that thing could have happened. The wrong or damaged goods or services delivered. When you order, damaged goods are delivered. No goods are delivered. You order something and something else is delivered. Right? Or damaged items might happen. The difficulties in finding information guarantee and other legal rights. There's no proper information on the buyer protection and legal rights. Final cost higher than indicated. They advertise something and they charge something else, a higher price. Then complaint rate is difficult and no satisfactory response after the complaint. You complain, but no one responds. You send an email, but you never get a response from. Foreign retailer did not sell to my country. Sometimes I try to buy items from Amazon, but they say what? Those items are not sold to Sri Lanka. They sell only to Sri Lanka. So in that case, sometimes I had to go to Amazon India to get certain products delivered to Sri Lanka. Then problems with fraud. Right. Now I'm going to ask you, each of you, what kind of issues did you encounter out of it? What are the issues? First, did not encounter any problem. That's not a problem. In buying things online, you have not encountered any problem. Then the slow delivery in items, technical failures in the website, wrong items delivered or damaged items delivered, and there's no legal right of buyer protection. Final cost higher than indicated. You are being overcharged than advertised. And yes, when you have complaints, there's no one to respond. And the foreign retailer, the people are not delivering that in Sri Lanka. And problems with fraud. What are the issues you encounter? Getting more time for delivery. Getting more time for delivery. So can you give me an example? You ordered something and then how long it took?
Promised me to deliver within 2 days. They said me that since they have so many orders, it will take.
Very good. See that. That's not an excuse, is it? They should have told that you did. Good orders, make it in Saturday and go to the Wednesday. So see that kind of deception is there. Good. So wrong goods are there.
Let me say.
As expected, that means substandard goods. Now, recently, I ordered an item, right, to scare monkeys. Right, we have some unwanted visitors that comes to our garden and destroys the plants and other things. Those are the monkeys. Because around my home there are trees, like of other people, the neighbors' trees. They are not cutting it down. I don't know for what reason they are keeping that. Of course, trees should not be cut down. They are protected. That's correct. So I ordered catapult, but not to actually harm those creatures, but just to show them. Then they run. So I exercised zero moment of truth. Was a zero moment of truth? I read no reviews. The reviews was excellent. Then I did the purchase. But to see, the item was delivered in good quality, but again, to see, it broke down within 2 days. So now I'm going to try to review first, a genuine review, and see what happens. So damaged or low quality item. Although they promise something, you might get some low quality item. Any experience?
Website is not the same when we receive it.
When we receive it, that's right. You can only know that. You know, again, undefended So actually, that's what we see. Isn't it? They show something and they deliver something. We have to write comments and we have to really enlighten the audience. Well, that's wrong product, isn't it? So did you return it? No. I tell you, it was the for what they will be doing, it was the Tauga. So the best thing is to minimize the local and okay. Strategic withdrawal. They missed the orders. I could remember COVID-19 time, I did an online order to Cargill. Right? To Cargill, I made an online order. Right? And I'm still waiting till an item is being delivered. තාම බලන් ඉන්නවා තාලමේ විස්තර දාපු ඕඩර් එකක් විස්තර දාලා දාපු ඕඩර් එක තාම මොකද curry leaves my wife wanted curry leaves so I ordered curry leaves තාම එනකම් බලන් they charged them for delivery but ලස්සන පොර when an item is not there what they do is they give a discount they give a voucher for them a gift voucher so we can apply that to another order. But is not true. They were not organized. Yeah, very good.
Mobile concept. Expected time.
But type is not there. The quality is not there. Yes. That's the common concern. Okay. What issue? Hi. Oh. So you have got this up. So what kind of issue? When you did we'll give a small chance for it. What we are discussing is like what kind of issues you encountered when you wanted to buy things online or when you bought things online. Now, online purchase karna, I mean, maker to survey the law would have what are the main issues? Speed of delivery, slower than they agree. They don't get issues. They get the miss the order. They did not deliver it, right? Can you give an example? Look at the poem. What was the vendor and what was the item? Item you can, if you don't know, you can get. What you can tell us who's the vendor? Who is the order? FP, no? Yeah, that's FP. Be extremely careful from if you are going to take things or buy things from FP. Again, I could remember we ordered a bed sheet. Because we have a small page, right? So it wets itself, right? So we had a kind of a bed sheet that will, not absorb the weight of my bed. So we ordered, it had very good reviews. But to see that after 3 months' time, got damaged. But in FP, it was told in that time, and of course, good review comments were there. But to see, FP processing is very, very, we have to be very careful. Color change. You ordered a certain color, something else came. What was that? First. What is first? From where did you order it? eBay. eBay is also, you have to be extremely careful. How many? Access quality is not there. Can you, what was the example? So you ordered one, they delivered some low quality. But they delivered to Srilanka. That's a very, very common issue, isn't it? If you are going to order through Amazon, that thing happens. eBay, they have some vendors who would send it to overseas, that means particularly Sri Lanka. But in Amazon, most of they send books, of course, but some items are not delivered. For that, we have to go to Amazon eBay. But not the same product, some a different quality product might be there. Right. Delay. Yeah, you got delay. Can you, what was the vendor? AliExpress. Took. I was thinking I get something again. They are getting quality. What was I seeing for it? After AliExpress. I could still remember. Long back, about 20 years back. when I wanted to buy at that time, this repeat cash. When I ordered that, it was from a Chinese vendor at that time, I got it. But again, see that it didn't go wrong. But it is expected quality was not there. Again, what kind of item to that? Police market. And from where the last Facebook. Facebook, they are using them like and there's no kind of readers aspect. They are not going to make it correct. Size is different from what you expected. Advertisement on the from PhD would be issues, delivery. Our delivery is not scheduled as well as period. What was the last? I also have the last experiences where it was delivered not on time. It took time. Editions. 10 different products. Why? Because what was the vendor and what was the product? Accessory, but you got something. The issues in damaged product. Okay. There are AliExpress, but damaged product. So did you get it?
Yeah, I think in they are importing, there may be inflammation.
That happened very first time. So it was a package fail. Handle well there.
Brand.
Okay.
If I order shoe from editor,
Yes.
and quality is
Not actually items. Okay. So it is the counterfeit item.
there in discount.
They discount it,
70%.
and they say 70%. So maybe it's factory mistake that item, or maybe it's a counterfeit item. Only a counterfeit item. That's a very common issue. What was the vendor?
Editor Srilanka.
I did not see it.
Yes. They are used the big bearings.
My,
If I on a ungoal case,
yeah,
and I return Sri Lanka brand, very different.
very different. It is Srilanka, very careful. Counterfeit item, it seems they are selling factory reject scraps. Factory rejects and they are making and make money. So they discount. Discount means you give the product at a low price. You are not going to buy factory rejects. No.
In Sri Lanka, that's
Other way around.
they make it only
They put discount. That's very, very unprofessional, unethical, bad business practices. So actually, you should write that. So Adidas International Office and tell them that this is what Sri Lanka vendors are doing. So they might even not know what's going on. Okay, but with their blessings, they are doing it. Kudos. Speed of taking. Yeah, I have this. Okay. That's like within 1 week is arriving. I took about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks, yeah. Hard disk enclosure. Right. 2 days, then to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Color difference. Yeah, you ordered something and you got something. What was the platform? Facebook. Yes. Okay, issue. Speed of delivery. So it took more time than you expected. How long it took? It's around 2 months. 2 months? AliExpress. Why go? What was their reason? Did they give any reason? They don't know give a reason. No? So 2 months to deliver. How much? How long did they first take? 2 days.
No, they indicate as a 1 or 2 week.
1 or 2 weeks, but they took 2 months. Okay. But finally, did they actually send the item in good quality? Yes. That's that case. Other problems. So damage of quality issues. What was that? Mouse. Right? It was a branded one. So it was kind of what we call unbranded version, but again, they had promised that it works well, but it's not there. Quality issues are there. Same thing as here. Again, do you mind what was the platform? FB. Yes, these people are using it. Delay. It took more time.
When I was placing the order, stocks were there, but after a couple of days, they.
It was not there. And did I tell you about Cuprook? Yeah, I told you about my Cuprook experience, right? So still they did not return.
Final for
Higher than indicated. Yes. How did they charge it? Delivery?
Delivery.
They charge you. See, we have all encountered several issues that here. But most of you, what you told was delivery delay. Quality issues. Delivery delays, quality issues were there, right? And unexpected quality issues. And also some people told no one answered your complaints. But the thing what we could do is collectively, we should highlight those guys. We had to put comments. Now, for my catapult thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some comments. Genuine comments and telling that very poor quality. And the size that they advertised and what I really got is very different. It was to scare the monkeys, not to harm them. Right? Then you would have bought a shotgun if you wanted to, that air rifle or something is there to harm them. No, it was not to harm them, to scare the monkeys. Villains, because they come and destroy all the, there are some this guava trees, පේරගස්තියක් තියෙනවා. පේර කන්නෙත් නෑ ඔක්කොම ටික කඩලා යනවා. Monkeys. What can you expect from monkeys? So likewise, yes, problems encountered when buying online. So almost you had encountered several issues that were there. Right. Now for applications of using the internet. Now here you can see the age ranges. 60 to 24, 25 to 54, and 55 to 74, quite older guys. For what they are using the internet application. You can see the majority is using internet for what? The need. Regardless the age, right? Majority are using the same. Then posting message to social media. The younger generation is using that, right? High. You can see. Also, then telephone or video calls over the internet, listening to web radio or watching web television, right? Playing, downloading games, images, and films or music. Likewise, you can see. But here you can see the older generation has surpassed the younger generation in this one. What's that? As well as this one. There you can see the older generation is quite better than the younger generation. These things. What are those? Finding information about goods or services, reading online news, newspapers, internet banking, use of service related to travel, making an appointment with a practitioner. The older generation is using more internet than younger generation. Why is that? Why do you think this is the case? Older generation and the younger generation are what I'm going to say. Because they have more money than the younger generation. That's to be honest. They could afford items, they could do online banking, of course. So their disposable income might be higher than the younger generation. Right. Okay. Now, today's assignment. You also have an assignment. I would have preferred to do this in the class, but again, there are people overseas. Right. Right. So today's assignment is to understand this question. Is the question. Is the question. Now, the question is, so the main point here is factors governing e-commerce service adoption. Why Sri Lankan SMEs particular? Why certain businesses? Why they don't adapt e-commerce as we expect? Now we know e-commerce creates a huge opportunity, right? Using a website and selling the items as well as having interactions. A brick and mortar business. Because brick and mortar business is limited only for the customers around the locality. But an e-commerce business, the world is your customer. But what we see is some businesses, they have not adopted. They are not adopting e-commerce as we expected. Why? So these are some of the reasons. Cost of access. Cost of access is high. Adoption of e-commerce is costly. You have to buy those platforms. The internet cost is higher. You need to buy special equipment software and you need to host websites. It's costly. Then value proposition is not clear. I told you. It's the model. In the business model, there are 9 elements. What's the most important element? Value proposition. So when the value proposition is not clear of this business, no one will buy from it. So they have to really tell why customers should buy from them. So they have 2 strategies for that. One is low cost. What's the other one? Differentiation. So if it is differentiation, they should tell really why it's differentiated product of high quality. Yep, they are fair to do. Then ease of use. Using internet platforms and e-commerce platforms is not easy, not user friendly. And that has prevented some businesses in adopting e-commerce. Then security issues are there. Some are perceived security issues. Some people think that if it creates security issues, their data might not be secure, the transaction might be not secure, they might be faced with fraud, right? Credit card fraud and other frauds. Because I could sometimes back, there was one of my students who was an entrepreneur. And he launched an app, a VoIP app, where they can make international calls at that time, about 10 years back. Right? When I was there, I was teaching entrepreneurs, and this man came up with an app. And so the customers could buy credit and make international calls, a VoIP app. What was the main issue they encountered? Because it went very well first, but then, yeah, as well as what what they did. Some hackers and fraudsters, they used stolen credit cards to purchase credit and make calls. Stolen credit card. So they lost revenue. They lost revenue for them. Security concern was a big issue for them. Then you know what they did. Now they were getting about 2,000, 3,000 customers per day. Now how to distinguish that between a fraudster, a genuine purchase, or a fraudulent purchase? OTP. Yeah, you can click OTP, that's correct. What else? They actually use machine learning technology. They trained the system to understand from where those codes are coming. Because if they do screen all, it's not possible because it's 2,000, 3,000. But they wanted to particularly screen certain customers coming from certain regions at certain times, particularly from Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe, you have the nice hackers, crackers, and from certain other areas. So they were given, so the machine learning system understood that certain customers, certain IP addresses, certain regions are more prone to fraud. And they were screened quite well. So likewise, these are security. But not all, because he was tech savvy. So he used the machine learning algorithm to understand possible fraudsters. Possible fraudsters, not 100%, but possible fraudsters. Then fear of unknown. What is my fear of unknown? Sometimes the technology is very simple, very easy, but since you do not know, you are fear of using it. Look at some things that you had not used earlier, but now using. But before using that, you might have been very worried of using that, isn't it? Maybe even the internet, maybe sending an email. Just remind yourself when you send your first email. Before that, how much you might have been afraid. Would appear in the Facebook Galle, and maybe doing your first WhatsApp. You might have thought that this is some big thing that we don't know. But now without that, you cannot make fear of unknown. So likewise, these are certain barriers why certain businesses have not adopted what? E-commerce in Sri Lanka. As well as now I want you, now these are some common factors. These are called common factors. These are some common factors. Not particularly related to Sri Lanka. These are common factors why the businesses have not adopted e-commerce. But there are certain factors that are really related to Sri Lanka. That's what I want from you, which I'm not going to tell you. Right? In the assignment, include factors that are really related to Sri Lanka, why Sri Lankan SMEs are not adopting e-commerce at the expense. So that's today's assignment. What are the other factors impacting low adoption of e-commerce in SMEs in Sri Lanka? So that's today's assignment. So I'll be giving you time tomorrow, till tomorrow 8 a.m. 12 hours from where the lecture ends. Right? Tomorrow. Other in fact, yes, make your tomorrow morning 7 a.m. Right? Tomorrow morning 7 a.m. I'll give you time. So tell low adoption. So I put that assignment now itself. Sri Lanka what are some inherent factors that's related to Sri Lanka? So I'll be discussing the answers as well. We'll see whether you will get the proper answers. Yes, sir. Okay, this is the fourth assignment. Sri Lanka SMEs e-commerce adopt current low adoption. and make it Sri Lankan SMEs, right? Small and medium scale. Right? Due date 21st. Let me show you. I have this. Okay, the assignment is on. Right, you can check. Take a Google time. Right. Let's go back. Next thing I would like to discuss is about localization. What do we mean by localization of a website? Localization. Please take down the topic under this chapter number 4. Localize. 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 There are different levels of localization. Localization. Now, sometimes when you go to website, you get the website in your own language. In Google, localize. Google search localize. Yes. Sometimes it's in Tamil language. Sometimes it's in Sinhala language. When I was in Japan, it was entirely in Japanese. It was a big headache because at the beginning I did not understand Japanese. So I didn't know what to do. But then I understood, okay, how to make it English. So likewise, it's localized. Yahoo search engine is localized. So that's what we call localization. But there are different levels of localization. Right? The first level is there's no localization at all. It's only in one language. So that's called standardized website. Standardized website. Standardized website. Not localized. It's only in one language and that's it. That's one level of localization. Right. Then we have semi-localized website. What do we mean by semi-localized? A single site serves all customers. However, there will be a contact information about foreign subsidiaries available for international customers. Many sites fall into this category. Here, semi-localization means it just gives some international officers. That's all. Is it offered in Tamil language, Sinhala language, or Arabic or Japanese? No, it's not. Here, some foreign subsidiary information is given under that contact information. That's called semi-localized. Then we have more localization, localized website. Country-specific website with language translation is there. You have the language translation. Your own language you can get. Right? As well as for international customers, where 3M has adopted the website for many countries to local language versions. It focused on the major website. Okay, of course, it will have different language. Right? If you are logging from Sri Lanka, it will offer in Sinhala language, Tamil language. Right. So this one is called localized website. So from no localization to localization. Semi means again, it's not really semi-localized. You give some local subsidiaries. Maybe if there's a subsidiary or branch in Sri Lanka, it will give the branch information in Sri Lanka. Then we have highly localized websites. So up to now what we discussed, no localization or standardized websites, then what? Semi-localized websites, then localized websites where the language translation is there. But now we have highly localized. What's the difference? Read in highly localized websites, country-specific websites like language translation, of course, is there. They also include other localization even in terms of time, data, postcode, and even currency formats are there. So you can buy it in Sri Lankan rupees. The Sri Lankan time is displayed when you visit that website. That's highly localized. High local. Now, Galle.com is one example for that, but I don't know whether there's a single version that comes out. But it seems that there are other versions are there. Highly localized. But then finally, you have the highest level of localization, culturally customized websites. There you are given, based on the cultural group, your religious affiliation, the culture, it will tailor the country. Right. Now, for an example, the same country, there might be different, cultures, different religious groups. They will even try to tailor that and give fullest immersion that you won't feel any difference in your language, your format and everything. And even some symbols also will be used that's not going to offend you. Now, for an example, if you are trying to, advertise in these websites in Sri Lanka, alcohol for a certain religious group, it won't quite be tolerated by the group. But if say for certain religious groups, some alcohol might not be palatable or it's not consumable. Likewise, these websites even will understand that and not advertise as well as not cater those things. And they will use the religious symbols very carefully. Culturally immersive is there. So here websites reflecting complete immersion. Please underline this. Complete immersion in the culture of the target customer segment. Particularly tourist websites, tourist hotels try to do this. Cultural immersion is provided. Such as targeting a particular country, may be providing multiple websites for that country depending on the dominant culture. So they have given an example, Durex, it's a good example of a culturally customized. So it's full immersion. It gives the maximum immersion based on the country. Now, SAP website, what kind of localization is there? So that's the problem. Okay. There's no reason. Yeah. So what we expect is, right, at least a standardized website. Localization is a standardized website. We'll see. It will come soon. Coming soon. Okay. So this is about localization. Again, I told you under personal factors, these are social factors. We have to think about cultural aspects of the society, the religious affiliation. Now, if you are going to display if you are a Hindu and if you are going to display for something that's going to offend them, and if you are a Muslim and if you are going to display pork, that's completely out. So likewise, we have to be very careful when you are going to deal with certain religious groups as well as ethnic groups. Okay, let me ask you a question and with that we'll finish for today. Now, certain governments as well as certain employers. Certain governments as well as certain employers monitor the employee behavior. Right? They monitor the employee behavior, they read your emails, they see what websites that you have visited. Likewise, is it okay or not? Tell me arguments for and arguments against. Now at the exam, there might be a question like this. Critically evaluate the employer monitoring the employees' activities in terms of electronic media. Right? Critically evaluate. That means what? You have to both tell what are the arguments in favor of monitoring as well as arguments that are against monitoring. So can you tell me? I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Tell me what are the arguments for and against. The internet. Right. And then, and with that we finish. So that's the thing that I want to discuss. Fine. Is it okay? This is a legal aspect. The personal factors, the legal factor, in fact, say, what do you think about the employer monitoring the employee? What are the arguments for and what arguments against? Employee කෙනෙක්ගේ දේවල් බලන එක හරිද වැරදිද? Employer monitoring employees' online activity. Is it good or bad? Good. Yes, but it's good. From your perspective, it's good. Yes. In different perspectives, isn't it? Yes, you can take that argument. In employer's perspective, then employee's perspective. We'll come to that. Tell me why you think it's good and why you think it's bad.
Easy to identify manufacturing.
It should be easy to identify what?
Malpractice.
Malpractices, indeed. So the employees might be coming to the organization and doing what? Downloading illegal software as well as engaging fraud. And they might be using the resources of the government. And they might be doing their own business as well. Yeah. So what are the arguments for monitoring? That says it's okay and the employers should monitor the employee activity. What are the arguments? You already told them. You can monitor fraud. You can detect fraud. And you can minimize the abuse of resources by the employees. In certain places, particularly government, not in Sri Lanka, in certain government places, if you go and see what the employees are doing over the internet, what they are doing, they are watching Telegram. Whole day YouTube. So they are using what? Company resources, government resources for their entertainment. And what others are doing is they are doing their own business, doing someone else's business. E-commerce කරනවා අනුගේ තමුන්ගේ ආයතනයට අදාළ. And some employees even might engage in terrorist activities. Who knows? So if the employers detect that, then they could have prevented. Right. So and some customers and customer segments
might be offended by certain activities, certain emails that are going on, and that could have been prevented if they were properly monitored. So likewise, these are arguments for. What are the arguments against? Privacy. That's the main arguments against. The employees have private information. Now, being an academic, I don't mind they check my email, but I mind only one thing they should not check. What's that? My employer should not check that. What's that? Examination papers. I don't mind if even I think you can see my email. I often show that sometimes. I don't mind because why? Nothing private. Everything I am engaged in official activity. That's my private email, official email, everything is there. But the problem is some information you have to keep confidential. Even the, particularly when it comes to examination paper, even the university, after the exam, they have the right to know that. But before that, they don't need to know that. That information could be leaked. Now, you know what happened to the agricultural paper, right? In Srilanka. It was leaked. Now, paper 1 and paper 2 have to be recapped. You can see what kind of cost and what kind of disgrace has occurred because that information had leaked. So privacy. Then there are some secret information for, let's say, patents still unregistered. If it is even some other groups get to know within even the organization, it might be leaked as well. So patented information, another thing. So likewise, privacy might be a concern because the employees also might have privacy. But again, that all depends on the employment contract they sign when they enter into that particular organization. If they agreed that the employee would monitor, then they should allow their activities to be monitored. Right. So I don't mind. The only thing for me is I don't have patent information or anything. My main thing is what? Example. Before the exam, after the exam, I don't mind even they cook that and eat that, no problem. But before that, so what I do is I always password protect my examination papers. When I send it over the internet for the moderation, and when I'm going to moderate or when I'm going to look at that, send the paper and send in that, always I password protect it because no one can access that afterwards. No one can crack that. But I never put unprotected files into my Google Drive when it comes to exam or send it over there. So privacy might be the only reason I see a valid reason why the employers should not monitor the employees, but that also cannot be accepted to a certain extent because they are supposed to deal with what? Company information, using company resources. So what privacy? Right. So likewise, these examination questions might occur. Critically evaluate the fact that the employers are monitoring the online activities of employees. Good. I got some very good answers. Protects companies from employee fraud. Yes, as you told very correctly. Protects companies from wasting activities. As I told you, whole day going to YouTube and wasting the bandwidth. Right. Protecting companies from making unwarranted claims about other organizations. But the only right against thing is privacy in the US. Right. Arguments for yes, again, government monitoring. But government monitoring is through the web. Yes, it could alert terrorist activities and other kind of things. Right. I think that's enough for today. Right. So we had a significant discussion. As well as please do address the assignment and by tomorrow's our name, please upload that. Any questions? Clear? Okay. Very good. So have a nice remaining weekend. And see you again.